on today. We are going to talk about the headlines, I guess. The ones that have not shined such a great light on travel or the travel industry recently. We're going to talk about how to consider these things when marketing your business. If you want to know more, keep listening and let's dive in. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hay Smith. If you have found yourself going down a scroll hole of Pinterest, Google, and YouTube looking for great ways to market your travel business, but you've found nothing but frustration there, you've landed in the right place. As a travel agent, what I loved most was marketing my business, and I succeeded in it. That's why I became a marketing expert for the travel industry. And now I spend my days teaching travel agents and agency owners how to market their business on social media and beyond. So if you're ready to grow your business using social media and other marketing tactics, buckle up and let's take off. Did y'all know there's a planner out there that is made just for you, the travel agent? The Happiest Things Collective has created their planner for magical travel agents, and it is amazing. And why wouldn't it be? She's a travel agent herself. This thing has a place to keep track of your clients that are traveling. It has a place to keep track of quotes, who has final balance due. I mean, all the things that you need to create a smooth client experience and keep those clients happy so they become loyal clients. That's right. We're getting them into the loyalty phase, right? This comes in a physical and a digital version, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And for even more magic, you can sign up for their monthly subscription. This also comes in physical and digital versions, and you'll get amazing stickers and goodies every single month that are going to help you grow your travel business. And starting right now, I am partnering with the Happiest Things Collective to bring a monthly social media challenge to everyone inside their subscription. So go to happiestthingstravel.com, get on their subscription, get your planner, and make sure to use code KELLY15, KELLI 15 for 15% off your purchase. Hey y'all, so if you have been living under a rock, you don't know these things. But let's just talk about the fact that the latest headlines on travel and travel agents in general have not been particularly positive. So a couple weeks ago, there was the Norwegian cruise line. They were in Africa. Some of their passengers got left behind. I'm doing air quotes if you're not watching this on video, because they didn't make it to the ship. But that put a negative light on cruising, a negative spin on cruising. And then this weekend, I saw whatever this debacle was about these cruisers that did not get on the ship after booking with a travel agent. They were not given entrance into. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've done some research this morning. I still can't find clear answers. And so I have a little bit of back and forth on whether we should even talk about like the specifics of this, but something to the effect of the travel agent found out that the cruise was canceled on February 21st. She tried to rebook it on February 22nd. It was sold out. She couldn't get it rebooked. And somehow the passengers did not know, there was like 26 people, did not know that they had been canceled. They went from Minnesota to Florida to get on the ship and couldn't get on. Yet the travel agent did cruise on that cruise. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I've done some research, but all I have seen is opinion and nothing really factual. But here's what I know. If and when this gets picked up by mainstream media, things like the Today Show, Good Morning America, or whatever, this is going to spin on that. And I actually had a long conversation, because when I heard this was talking my stories to you all. But then after that, I went to one of my very best friends in the world, who's also a director of marketing. And I talked to her about, the PR and marketing piece of this and what were her opinions. And she markets for a very different field, and that's what she's living in every day. So one of the things that I thought through is the fact that while it is, so we market a product that isn't an essential, right? Like it can be done without. So if you're marketing a medical product, for example, it's not, you can't do without it. You have to have it. So you can ignore some of the negative feedback about other people or other things because it's a necessity. Whereas this product isn't. Even CPAs or real estate agents, and I usually compare us to real estate agents. It's not an essential, but more people use real estate agents than use travel agents. And so I think we have to put in perspective that people see us as and I'm not a travel agent anymore, I'm using the word us because I feel like I'm part of the community. Use it as I don't have to have that. I can do this on my own. And they think that travel agents are doing the same thing that they're going to do by researching and booking the vacation, which is, we know, is more than that. But when they see these negative things start to happen, they become more protective and kind of turn inward instead of outward. And it becomes a struggle on how to do this. And so I've gone back and forth in my head, and in that conversation I had with my friend, she was like, I would almost like just not talk about it. And I thought about that, but then I saw a ton of Facebook groups where people were like, I won't book with a travel agent, did you? And I'm realizing that we don't want to put a bullseye on it and paint it like, hey, did you all see what happened? But we also don't want to ignore it and let it affect the business. So what is the best way to go about knowing these things have happened, that they are in the news, on social media, and effectively market your business? And it comes back to what I have talked about always, which is talking about the service that you provide. But I think it has to go further than that and really showcasing transparency in your processes and explaining what that looks like. So again, I'm not speaking this as fact because I don't know. I don't have any factual, like, this is exactly what happened from that situation. But one of the things I saw posted online, again, this is not factual, this is what I've seen online. One of the things I saw posted online was an invoice or a receipt or something that was sent to the travelers, but it wasn't from the company. It wasn't from Carnival, which was the cruise line these people were supposed to get on. It was from the travel agent specifically. So one piece of content and marketing, maybe a blog, maybe an email, and definitely social media posts as well, come to how clients pay for their vacation when they plan their trip with me, and talk through, you may collect service fees, and that's okay. You just need to be transparent about what that is so people aren't seeing that. So let's say that you want to showcase, I'm going to use Disney because I know it better than anything else, but you want to showcase how the Disney trip is processed. You need to talk through, there are times that I have service fees and times that I don't. Maybe that's the way your business rolls, right? When there's a service fee, it will be labeled as such on your terms and conditions, and this is what you'll see on your bank statement. But when you are paying for your vacation, I simply make the payment directly to the supplier for you. Here's what it should look like on your bank statement, and like creating some screenshots of that, making sure that they understand what that looks like. Now, my guess, again, this is purely speculation, but my guess on the situation from the other situation is that that was a group cruise, so she was making payments in a different way. But I think it's important to showcase that process. If you do group cruises and it looks like that, and booking rooms, walk through the process of what that looks like. I am able to get you a better price on cruises when I do a group cruise. Here's how that works. You don't have to reference the situation that happened, the situation that's in the headlines, but showing what the process looks like and bringing transparency to what happens and how the back end of your business works, I think is going to be really crucial going forward. Because when you get defensive, so let's say somebody brings it up, and you could wait until somebody brings it up, but my concern in waiting till somebody brings it up is that people just won't contact a travel agent anymore. So rather than ignoring that it's happened, I don't want to have my hands waving and saying, hey, did you see this? But I think understanding that some of these things are in people's minds and creating content that's going to hit those objections head on could be really crucial for it. So again, what does the payment process look like? If it's a group cruise or group vacation that you're selling, what does that process look like? How does that payment plan go? And then if they have specific questions about specific scenarios, such as what happened over there, that you're able to answer those questions in a one-to-one fashion based on their questions. So I don't think that you have to reference specific situations, but I think it's important that you understand the need for transparency in explaining how the process works in your marketing on the front end, and like make it front end process heavy. Maybe it looks like stories, right? So I talked about content. Maybe it's just, okay, let's break this down. So maybe you create a blog, email, reel, and carousel post that showcase the process of working with you. So it's not just you request a quote and I book the trip, but it really goes into the how are payments processed? Do I pay you or do I pay the vendor? And you answer that question. And then maybe it's like having a screenshot on there of those things. Then you can also highlight in your stories. Say you're getting ready to make a payment for a client, and you pick up the phone or your phone and record stories of what it looks like and how it looks like to process a payment for a client. So those are some ways that you could use this content, or this is a situation that you want to make sure that you understand is happening, but you're not so focused on that situation that you're talking to that situation instead of understanding what they need to learn from it. The other opposite situation, the Africa cruise, where people were left behind, and I really don't like that, but where people didn't make it back to the ship on time, as a travel agent, you know how to avoid that. And you can speak directly to that. Did you see this story? And are you worried about taking a cruise because this could happen to you? I'm a travel agent. Here are my best, the advice I give to all my clients so this doesn't happen. And you go through this and you talk about the fact that your service will prepare them for something in this realm. But this is one of the main reasons that I tell you to leave room in your content strategy and plan for things that come up in the headlines. I mean, you have promotions. Disney's dropping a new promotion tomorrow that has to be added in, of course. Or situations like this, they come up and you need room in your schedule to be able to do this. These are things that you have to talk about, or that you have to address in one form or fashion, but also they're trending. And it's going to help you with the awareness piece that people are now thinking about. So that Africa thing, people are now thinking about. It's not all over my social media feeds, not just from travel agents, but also from friends and family. They're thinking about what happened there. And so when you're talking about it, you become part of that awareness, and you can get the narrative out and you get in front of that story, which is a PR piece as well as a marketing piece. So I felt like it was really important for me to spend a solid 15 minutes talking to you all about this idea. So just think about, again, a blog, an email, a reel, and a carousel post that you're going to prepare that is going to talk to processes. And then over the next quarter or so, we're in the first month of quarter two, throughout the entire quarter two, break down each one of those back-end processes in a deeper dive so that people really see what it means to work with you. The value, of course, is important. I did a live this morning for subscribers that went over the value of working with a travel agent, but also the piece of the puzzle that's super important is the piece about the processes. so that people see that you're being transparent and on the honest up and up. And again, back to getting on your stories when you're getting ready to process a payment. Obviously, you're not going to show the credit card information, but you can say, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I do it. I get into their profile, I get into the vendor's website, and I input the credit card information that I have stored in my encrypted system, and then put it into there and process the payment directly to the vendor. So I am simply processing the payment for them. I'm not holding the money or whatever that process looks like. And I realize for different vendors in different areas, it's going to be different things, but in the situations that it was in this situation, you could always process directly through the main vendor. Anyway, there was something else I was going to say. More content ideas. Maybe this looks like a series. I have some content coming out sometime this month that's about like creating series style content that's really, really good for what I like to call bingeable content to keep people coming back. And these processes would be a great series piece of content where it's like travel agent processes part 1. And you talk about payment processing. Travel agent processes part 2, booking. Travel agent process part 3, planning, whatever it looks like. And you can really break down not just the value provided, that has to be in there, obviously, but also and realize this is going to get very low engagement. It's not about that. It's about helping people who are already aware of your business and have considered it, but are on the fence based on other things they've heard. This isn't there to get a bunch of likes, comments, and shares. It's there to get content it's there to help someone better understand your business so they can better consider you as their solution to a problem. And then I'm going to speak directly to travel agency owners for a second. If you are an owner and you are hiring independent contractors, things like this are going to hurt people who want to be part of your agency, or people who have considered it before but now are afraid to. From this, you want to combat that head on. Yes, in a one-to-one fashion, but you can do things like, are you worried you're going to have to hold money for them? Here's how we work at our agency. And you explain that process from a different standpoint. So it's the same information, just coming to a different ideal client. You're voicing it in a different way. If you are an owner and you're hiring ICs, you have a different ideal client than just the traveler, and creating the same types of content and putting it in form for a potential IC to read is going to be really important in this as well. All right, I think that's all we wanted to cover today. I know this was another short one, 15 minutes, but I hope it was impactful for you. The podcast I recorded for today will go live next week because I felt like this needed to go out and be really timely. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your week. There will be a live on Instagram on Friday for everyone and a subscriber chat this Friday. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm so glad you were here. Make sure you're following along on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and pretty much anywhere else. You can find me at Kelly Hayes Smith everywhere there's social. And make sure you leave us a review. That's one way that we get to bring you more content each week. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday for an all-new episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast.